If there's one thing you could change about the biking industry as a whole, what would that be?
The misnomer specifically between an electric motorcycle versus an electric bicycle. If it's an electric motorcycle, it is not street legal, period. What 12-year-old understands that?
Yeah. Bike versus cars. Share the road, not share the road. Bikes are annoying, bikers are annoying, or cars are annoying. What's your take on that?
Sometimes you have uneducated riders who think that because they're on a bicycle, they can just swerve in and out and do their own thing. But then you have the ones who are educated, and that's majority of the community. They still ride the roads. They do what they're supposed to do. And that's where we still find the love of cycling.
So what is the best way to experience Huntington Beach? By car, by foot, or maybe two wheels? In a city where surfboards and bicycles are practically part of the culture, Jax Bicycle Shops has been helping locals and visitors enjoy Huntington Beach from a whole new perspective. But here's a question for you. When was the last time you explored Surf City, USA on a bike? And would you do it again? Or is the beach city cruiser culture just being replaced by something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts, because today's episode might change the way you see how we experience biking in Huntington Beach, California. Welcome back to the Huntington Beach podcast, where we dive into the stories and the businesses that make this city one of a kind. I'm your host, Gary Watt, discovering the unique treasures of Surf City as someone new to the area. And trust me, there's always something special to uncover. And today, we're spotlighting an iconic Huntington Beach establishment, Jax Bicycle Shop, established in 1971 and at their current location since 1993. With a history of serving our community and a passion for cycling culture, Jax has been at the heart of what makes Huntington Beach such an active and vibrant community. So whether you're a seasoned cyclist or someone who just loves cruising on the beach on a sunny day, Jax Bicycle has something for everyone. As someone new to Huntington Beach, I noticed how integral biking is to city's lifestyle. And whether that's on boardwalk or on the beach cruiser or mountain biking trails nearby, it seems like everyone has a story about a great ride. This podcast is my way to understanding what makes Surf City so special. And I love shining a light on local businesses like Jax and contributing to the identity of the city. If you're a local business or a local sponsor who wants to join us in celebrating Huntington Beach stories, reach out to us at www.huntingtonbeachpodcast.com. I think together we can really preserve and share the spirit of this incredible city.
My name is Misty. I'm with Jax Bicycle Center in Huntington Beach. We've been in this specific location since 1993, but Jax Bicycles has been in business since 1971. We service our community in 8 different locations. Specifically, Huntington Beach is downtown Huntington Beach. We're on Main and Orange, and the only place with a full parking lot.
The only place. So come by and visit and buy a bike and bike to the beach.
There you go.
Okay, so bicycles have been around forever, and with the explosion of e-bikes and scooters, how does that change things? And what do you think about like having the e-bike revolution? Will it make bicycling the traditional way obsolete, or what is your prediction with that?
No, I really think that bicycling in general, there's such a community of cyclists. There are traditionalists and there are e-cyclists. Right now, I know with the push of e-cycling, it's getting into those who don't have vehicles that maybe have a different way of getting to and from work or getting around town or getting out with friends. Cycling is still that bigger community that no matter if it's a traditional cycle or a e-bike, it's going to be around. The nice thing though is the blend of both worlds. You have a traditional bicycle that may have a pedal assist. That's not necessarily a full throttle bicycle. That now takes somebody who say, for instance, is 70 years old. They've been riding a traditional bicycle for so many years. They still want to keep going, but they just can't keep up.
So then the bicycle assist allows them to be in that cycling community.
Exactly.
And yet at the same time have a good workout,
exactly.
get in it,
They're
but it's not
still
as
in with
hard.
their friends. They're still going and doing the rides. They're still getting out in that community. And we see it all the time where somebody's graduating into now a pedal assist bicycle versus a full throttle.
So tell me more about that. You're a bike store here. You're right in the heart of Huntington Beach. You're the only bike shop with the parking lot. How is it that it's not just about the bike itself, and you're talking about the community, about the friendships, about bringing people together? Tell me more about that as you've been working here. What have you seen, and how are you bringing people together as a store?
So it's not just me working here. I am a client first. I bought my bikes here. I bought my kids' bikes here. So the community is still here. We're still that small town bike shop with a full service department, by the way. We can fix everything except for a couple little things, and we can always work with a client regarding that. Just like earlier, you saw the young lady come in who's buying a bike for her daughter. She's, you know, of a certain age, but she's in between two sizes. We also take in kids' bikes as trade ups. We also take bikes in on trade as well. So if you have an older bike that you're just not loving anymore and you want to get into the newer featured bikes that are around, just like the Ponto Go or standard old cruiser and stuff, we do that for the community. Our community here in Huntington Beach, we've been in downtown Huntington Beach since 1993.
Okay.
That's Jax.
Yeah. Jax has been around for longer though.
Jax, so 1971.
Right? 1971.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Jax Bicycle Center has been around since 1971, 1993 in Huntington Beach, and it's been through everything. I mean, we were across the street, losing our lease there because they're building up a new building, to moving into this glorious building. It's fun to come in, and it's fun to watch the cyclists come in, and we talk about all sorts of stuff. And it's literally all walks of life. It's not just Joe down the street who happens to have a cruiser that comes in, and we're not just servicing the beach community, we're servicing a broader spectrum community.
Do you have cyclist groups here that meet here and then start off from here, especially with the parking lot? That's amazing. You don't find that a lot of places in downtown.
Yeah.
Do they meet here and do they create community around here?
We do. We just did a whole ride with the Huntington Beach Bike Ride Group. They do themed rides like Mrs. Roper Romp, where they all dress as Mrs. Roper from Three's Company and ride their bikes. They have the lit riders who come over here and meet up, and literally their bikes are lit up like an electric parade. It is amazing. They just did an ugly Christmas sweater party.
Wait, so the lit up is the bikes are lit up, not the people.
Both. We had a lady dressed up as a Christmas tree, and she had lights all around her like a Christmas tree, riding her bike up and down Main Street. It's awesome, awesome sense of community.
Awesome.
So yeah,
That's
we do
great.
themed rides.
With the rise of online shopping, big box stores like Amazon, shopping online, why do you think it's still relevant to have an actual physical location here in Huntington Beach to be here?
First and foremost, you can't ride a bike online.
That is true.
You can't test ride your bike. You can't see if it fits you right. If you wind up buying a bike, you're riding a bike that is just uncomfortable because it's not the right size. It doesn't have the right tweaks to it. It doesn't have that level of personal attention that we provide. You can buy all of our bikes online too. Just go to our website. It's super easy. But when you come here to pick up, we make sure that that bike is exactly the one you wanted and it fits you correctly.
That's awesome. I think that's really important, especially like a bicycle. It's not like a pen where you know it writes and you have to get it adjusted to you. And also even like the brakes, sometimes you want it a softer or harder brakes. You guys can adjust that. So having that personal care and the whole workshop in the back really allows that to come through.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's why you buy here, not online. I love it when you're here. You see it online and that's great, but when you feel and touch it,
oh yeah, totally different world.
and the quality, you don't know the quality of some of the cheaper bikes or entry-level bikes, as you might call them, right? But you can tell, okay, this feels good. I like the feel of this, or like whether I can put my leg through this or something like that. It gives you that dynamic with the bike.
Well, just like what you rode earlier, you rode a bike that is generally gauged for somebody that's 5'9" or taller. Now, if you bought that bike online, how would you be riding that bike in person? It'd be very uncomfortable.
Well, you know, that's the crazy thing, because I wouldn't even know
Correct.
if it's gauged for someone 5'9" or taller. I mean, I'm definitely not 5'9". So I think also with a bicycle, and it's a significant investment. So having someone guide and say, okay, well, I know you like this bike and this style. Can I suggest this because it's more fitted to you? And it might be even cheaper than what you're looking for. And also it'll last you many more years as well, right?
And you actually used a really good word, guide. We are guides here. We're not salespeople. We don't make a commission. There are bonus programs, but that's our company that provides for us. We don't push. We're here to make sure each and every person gets a bike, loves their bike, and actually rides their bike. That's the key part, is riding the bike.
So do you think Huntington Beach as a city, as a whole, as the people living here, have they done enough to be pushing for that bike culture? Or is there more you would like to see from the community about biking that surrounds biking?
That's a really good question, because we are definitely a bike community. Go up and down any one of our streets, you see bike lanes all over the place. You see the integration of share the road. You see the dedicated bike lanes on certain streets. You'll see kids and adults of all ages riding their bikes almost every single day, including in the rain, which is nuts, but they still do. They ride to the beach, they go surfing, they ride home. It's what you do here. It's a bike, beach, dog community. It's just all goes hand in hand.
That's what's beautiful about living in Huntington Beach. Also, you actually can get around everywhere on a bicycle.
On a bike, yeah.
And the city infrastructure has allowed you to do that also, not just say, too bad, survive out there with the rest of the cars.
True. Huntington Beach is a large city. We actually have 6 different zip codes.
Wow.
Just to Huntington alone. So people don't realize that, but once you start exploring, you go in and out of the neighborhoods and you don't just take your car, get out and go ride. There's so much to see.
That's a good question for you. So I'm pretty new to town, right? And I'm going around town, and like a lot of times when you're going somewhere in your car, you go to a destination, right? But with biking, I feel like
you're part of the environment you're in. Yeah.
And you get to stop at some small little place or some small coffee shop, or even just a beautiful garden that someone might have in front of their house, and just observe that and be a part of that, rather than zoom past it and say, wait, I need to go to that coffee shop or that destination. You get to actually immerse yourself in the community to experience the little parts of it, rather than just blaze past it in your car.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing then. So that's the beauty of having a bike as well, right?
Exactly.
Bike versus cars. Share the road, not share the road. Bikes are annoying, bikers are annoying, or cars are annoying. What's your take on that? There's a big
controversy. Blend of both worlds. Sometimes you have uneducated riders who think that because they're on a bicycle, they can just swerve in and out and do their own thing. But then you have the ones who are educated, and that's majority of the community. They still ride the roads. They do what they're supposed to do. They stop at the stop signs. They do what they're supposed to do. And that's where we still find the love of cycling. When you have the onesies, twosies that will just do their own thing, that's onesies, twosies that do their own thing. Just like car drivers and cars, you got the people that zoom in and out of traffic and slow everybody else down. Those are onesies, twosies. Look how many people are actually following the rules on the road when they're on a freeway or on a street.
I think as long as everyone kind of like balances out with each other, sort of thing, and respect the rules of the road.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big thing, right?
And then what it boils down to is respect the rules of the road. Do be aware of your surroundings at all times. You don't want to think that you're the only person on the road, because there is somebody who also thinks that they're the only person on the road. Safety is super important. We have helmets, lights, bells. I mean, you name it. We try to make sure everyone's safe when they're going out and riding and stuff.
You were telling me about this bike and how it has turn signals and everything like that, right? That's pretty neat.
It's one of the newer technologies that's out there, to be able to have a throttle-based and pedal assist electric bike that has turn signals, it has brake lights, and it has a headlight.
What is your opinion on cheap bikes that are flooding the marketplace? Are they good entry position for people that might be looking to get in bikes? Or do you think they're just ruining the whole market for all the bicycles?
You know, that boils down to whether it's a personal opinion or a popular opinion. In my personal opinion, as long as somebody's getting on a bike, they're getting out and they're exploring. They're utilizing a different mode of transportation. If it's a cheap bike, it kind of helps us, because now they're in here and looking for service or looking for help. Then they realize what they bought and they wish they bought what we sell.
Because it's going to need service, right?
It's going to need service for sure.
Why do you think some people would never get on a bike? What are some reasons, and what would you tell them to encourage them to give it a try?
Well, a lot of times it's fear of the unknown. For instance, they've never been exposed to riding a bike. There's so many different ways to help and work with that. You shared with me that someone was fearful of riding a bike.
My wife. That's why I'm looking at this double-seater here.
Was she exposed to riding a bike as a child?
No, she wasn't.
And if she was or was not, was that experience a good experience? That's why when parents are coming in, they're buying their kid their first bike, we are fitting them with the correct bike, because we want to make sure that whatever bike they buy, it instills confidence and it instills the love of cycling. So that's the most important part, is making sure that you're getting the right bike with the right size. Again, going back to online shopping, you never know if it's right. We always say, hey, if you're looking for your kid to buy a bike and they don't know about it, especially during Christmas, please come in. We will help. We will get the right size for them, and we'll help you make that decision.
If there's one thing you could change about the biking industry as a whole, what would that be, you think?
again, personal opinion versus popular opinion, kind of on both, it would be that there isn't so much out there that confuses people, because there is a lot of options out there. The misnomer specifically between an electric motorcycle versus an electric bicycle, two totally different worlds. If it's an electric motorcycle, it is not street legal, period. There's a specific brand that a lot of parents bought their kids. Huntington is cracking down on it. Laguna's cracking down on it. Irvine's
like
cracking
60
down on
miles
it.
per hour.
They go 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That is an electric motorcycle. It's an electric dirt bike specifically.
Yep.
It is not street legal. It does not have any lights or safety features behind it. These kids who are 12, 13, and 14 years old are literally flying down the roads. And as a parent, it scares me, because I'm actually glad those didn't come out when mine were younger, because of the lack of knowledge of riding. You're a motorcycle rider.
Yeah.
You know you have to have your head on a swivel at all times. What 12-year-old understands that?
Yeah.
They're still running out in the middle of the street in traffic. So that's, I think, the most controversial thing. Parents buying something for their kid because they want it. Do your homework.
Yeah.
Please. For the safety of your child, for the life of your child.
For the life of your child.
For your life of your child. Yeah. Because we've seen entirely too many accidents with kids who are on that specific bike.
Yeah.
And they are not surviving.
One thing that you love about Huntington Beach, and why?
Oh, there's too many things to list and say one thing. This city has gone through so many changes, but no matter what, it feels like a small town community. And that's the most important thing. You can go anywhere and kind of just blend in, but Huntington, it's so easy to make friends. Just like you and I.
Yeah.
We live in the same complex. We just started chatting, and look where we are now.
Yep.
It's something that quick. That's the nice thing. You can literally go up and down the street and just say hi, and you got a best friend in 5 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I've noticed that. It's very easy to get to know people.
Very easy.
People are very nice here and things like that. It's not like those LA people. Move to those cities.
LA has its little kitschy places.
Yeah.
Huntington is a big city
Yeah.
with a big heart.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Misty.
Gary, very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
So I think what makes this episode so special is how it all began. I just moved into my new apartment complex, and I've only been there for about a week when I ran into Misty, the manager of Jax Bicycle Shop. We struck up a conversation, and before long, we were talking about all the iconic places in Huntington Beach that makes this city so unique. In that first conversation, I mentioned that Huntington Beach podcast, it's all about celebrating the people and the stories that make Surf City so special. Misty's enthusiasm and love for the community was so contagious, and that's when I knew we just had to hear her on the show and had to hear about Jax Bicycle Shop. It's moments like this that reminds me why I started this podcast, to connect with amazing people in the community, share the stories, and shine a light on what makes Huntington Beach so much more than just a beach town. So, now it's your turn. Has Huntington Beach forgotten its roots as a laid-back cruiser bike town, or are we losing that part of our identity to electric scooters and Teslas? Here's another question. If Huntington Beach banned cars for a day to promote biking, do you think people would embrace it, or would they lose their minds? Let us know in the comments, DM us, or reach out at our website, www.huntingtonbeachpodcast.com. And be sure to subscribe, leave a review, share the episodes with people and someone who loves Huntington Beach as much as we do. Let's keep celebrating that makes everything in this city an incredible place to live, work, and explore. Until next time.